Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. I'm Vikova, you can call me V, and today I am playing more Roadwarden, which I can honestly say is one of the best games I've ever played. I absolutely love it. I've been very fortunate with the games I've been playing recently because Outer Wilds is also an absolutely phenomenal game. All right, it's time to jump back into it. Hello and welcome to Owlquill, to Rowan, to Silly Bacon, to Openness. Welcome for the first time to Calmly Enveloped, to the Nine-Tailed System, including Kayama and Quirrell. It's lovely to have you all here today. So, the monks of the Orders of Truth study rites, tablets, magic, crafts, and nature, and teach their followers to understand and accept the world. Alright, we're continuing. I feel like we've achieved a lot in this game, particularly in the last couple streams, it's kind of all coming together. And I feel like we might be approaching the end of the game, when we might return to Hovlaven. But there's definitely more I want to do before we return. So, yeah, let's see what we can do today. You're surrounded by darkness. You quickly gather your things and leave the room without a word from the keeper, who's sitting outside next to the open door. The village is hurriedly preparing for a busy day. The workers gather the wagons at the gates, push the barrels onto the barge, move equipment out of the sheds, and shove meals into their bags. The alleys aren't much calmer. The overseers are waking up their crews and discussing their goals and plans. The only souls that can afford a longer rest are the children and the elderly. Some of the locals slow down to observe you, and when you meet their eyes, you find a few smiles. So, there's a couple things I've been thinking about that we need to do. We have a little bit of the map left to explore, so that's quite important to me. I believe we haven't returned to give Eudocia the information about what happened to her parents, that they sadly died in the plague. And we have a couple unfinished threads in the forms of the missing hunters, of which we've only found one, and the bandits, which all signs are pointing to being tied here to Gale Rocks. I'd still like to clear the mines of the skeletons, although I'm frightened of doing that. And if we could clear the spider out of the cabin, that would also be good. But I'm also a little bit afraid, because I know we were warned by the forest speaker that we could invoke the wrath of the herds if we try to make the wilderness too hospitable. And I don't want to invoke the wrath of the herds. So it's difficult. And we still haven't found the previous Roadwarden and Asterion, and I'm still not sure if we will. I don't feel like we're on the path. Maybe it's in the direction we haven't explored. Kariva, hello and welcome. Kariva says, who are we setting up with whom today? You know what? That's a good point. I think there are people we still need to finish discussing. Let me just matchmaking. Let me have a look at my quests. Help others. Or maybe we finished matchmaking. No, we finished matchmaking. That's nice. Alright. So no one today. Kariva says, sorry, didn't want to derail you. No, it's good. It's good. We have 13 hours. I think I'm going to start out today by going straight to travel. Well, how long would it take us to get here? 7 hours 15. Oh, it's difficult. I think I'm going to travel this way. I really want to know what is in this direction. I'm just going to do it. Oh, muddy roads! I'm just going to do it. I'm traveling this way. The plans get denser with every day. I should be done in more than 2 hours. I'm not afraid of getting tired. I'll get this done in half the time. 4 hours, 15 minutes before dusk. I'm gonna deal with the plans. Okay. Oh no. Starvation! Your muscles are not used to such tiring work, grow tired quickly, so you take a few short breaks, avoiding the thorns and dirty water. When it comes to pushing aside the boughs, you breathe heavily, but you need only enough space to let your palfrey get through. Maybe the animals will start to roam this place again, beating the path. Alright, well we've cleared a bit. An hour and 15 before dusk, we have to leave! Already! Seek shelter! No! I shouldn't have come here on a muddy day. And it never shows you with the little arrows how long it will take. You reach a convenient mountain pass with crags smoothed out by centuries of rain and wind. The sun warms up both the vegetation and the beaten road, and the only beasts you spot are loud rooks glancing at you from the rocks and branches. Clearing the rock slide would take hours of work and a large group of people, while forcing Shadowfax to climb up and down could break its legs. I dismount and look around. I don't have time. Can I get to Foggy? 7 hours! Oh. I just have to click Seek Shelter and hope I end up somewhere I can sleep. Huge mistake. Closest shelter in Howler's Dell where they hate me? Alright. I guess I travel to Howler's Dell. You ride through the open gate, then swiftly dismount. Some of the locals greet you politely, but they keep their distance. After you notice your own smell and the dirt on your clothes, you no longer wonder why. Oh gosh. Sleep. I should spend the rent for the bath and the food, because I'll get a lot of appearance out of it, more than I've basically ever had. I'm spending the rent. You spend the night in peace in a clean bed with a tightly shut window and a warm blanket. In the morning you find a stool placed by your bed, covered with a decent stew with white bread to dip. Once you get dressed and go downstairs, a young boy who's covered in mud and speaks unusually loud and enthusiastically mentions that Shadowfax has already been brushed and watered. You nod, but he runs outside without noticing it. The innkeeper is sitting near the door, from time to time carrying out another bowl with either stew or gruel. Thias is nowhere to be seen. Good, Thias is gonna absolutely ring me out, so I don't want to talk to Thias. I leave the square. If I travel to Foggy, I can get some more food, and then we can go to Eudocia and give her the news, and get the quills to take to the monastery. I do want to get to the rock slide, though. Ooh, but I could do the rock slide right now. I'm gonna do the rock slide right now. Kariva says Howler's Deep, where they hate me, is one hell of a name for a town. Well, that's... They all had a vote, and that's the new name. The rock slide has made the path impassable. The sky is cloudless. You see a large harpy trying to fall upon a resting seagull. I dismount and look around. Yeah, we're doing alright for time. You climb up the rocks, having plenty of spots to rest your hands. Most of them won't move even an inch. As you get closer to the small, dead tree, you notice something odd among the stones. Pieces of old fabric completely covered with mold. Most likely the remains of a tunic. All I can do now is turn back. The remains of a tunic. What am I supposed to do here? What if the hunter came through here? Alright. Six hours 30. I'm gonna travel to Eudocia and wait as long as she wants me to wait. Yeah, Coral says, I think it says you need a team of people to clear the way, so I think you need to come back with one. Probably I'll go to Creeks and see if they'll help me. Let's travel to Eudocia. Only one fly is feasting on the rotting carcass of a snake that's on the side of the road. You touch the cold chest. There's no response. I'll just wait, as long as it takes for her to let me in. Quarrel says you'd probably have needed to do that before you made the nearest town hate you. You know what? That's a good point. Well, if I can't go there, I can't go there. It's getting colder, but finally the monster's eyes glow red. Go inside. I'll be with you soon. The stone creature lets you in. I enter the yard. Eudocia closes the door behind her. You're back. Ugh. I bring news of your parents. I'm really sorry. She takes a deep breath. Tell me. I don't think I should... I want to say I'm so sorry, Eudosha, but I'm worried about not spelling out the situation. You know, I don't want to lead to confusion. This is so sad. I already collected the quills? I did, okay. Thank you, Quirrell. Your wonderful memory is much appreciated. I'm so sorry, Eudosha. She closes her eyes. Her voice becomes absent. Back to trade then. I'm going to lower the price of my spirit rocks for you. Buy 2 dragons, I think that's fair. She opens her grey eyes and you notice the tears. Her voice is shaking. I need a moment. If it's any consolation, the plague itself is no more. You tell her about your deeds, but she stares into the distance without so much as a gesture and doesn't ask you a single question. It takes her a minute to form a few words. So there was no hope for them, but now it's there for others. Thank you. I should brush my horse. You use this hour to rest from riding. You exercise a bit, practice combat stances with your axe, then brush Shadowfax, which then gladly takes a nap. When Eudosha leaves her house, she crouches by a bucket of water and washes her face. When she straightens up and turns toward you, there's a shadow of a smile on her lips. I'm glad you stayed around, but I'll be fine. Is there aught I can do for you? I'm gonna have to seek shelter again tonight. Ugh. Rowan says, I think Eudosha would want you to just say it. Yeah. It seemed to work out okay offering her the sympathy. Calmly Belt says, Shadow fact! Meteorologically speaking, there is no difference between the temperature in the shade and out of it. It's just that the energy of the sun makes everything feel hotter. However, it's not in actuality. Thank you, Calmly. I mean Shadow facts. I'm going to show her the chisel from Old Pagos, the enchanted chisel I've received. It used to belong to a sculptor. Do you recognize it? A sad grimace cuts through her face as she rubs her arms. After a few breaths, she holds out her open palm. I give her the chisel. She stands upright in the center of the yard, the feet spread apart, arms stretched out, and the chisel placed in her right hand. After a few heartbeats, the steel rod floats in the air, maybe 2 feet away from her face, rotating slowly, rising up and descending like a stick on a pond's surface. Her grey eyes are tender. Her voice is close to a whisper. As a kid, I made a few toys that moved on their own. They lasted no longer than a single afternoon. A spoon that made all stuff taste sweet until it melted. One candle that shined, one that gave out a green light, but they also turned into stumps. Eudosha's long, dark hair is now waving around her, but there's no wind. I wanted to make aught that would last, with no end. I was 12, such an adult to soul. She let out a chuckle. So I turned my back on my toys and took my father's old favourite tool. It was always in the shed, for he was afraid it would wear away. I don't interrupt her. With a playful smile, she rotates it faster. The stitches I used to hold the pneuma inside are dwindling. I'll restore them in no time. She grabs the chisel swiftly. Her hair falls on her shoulders, her eyes now focused, as if she's an artisan solving a puzzle. But why keep it the same? A new owner could put it to new use. What do you mean? Currently, the chisel adapts to the surface it touches. When used against glass, it makes powerful hits gentler. When against stone, it strengthens them. You get the idea. She points at you with the tool and puts her weight on her left leg. I'll remove these limitations, make it so that it will simply enhance any strike made with it. A weapon, well, against rocks. A tool of destruction. Against rocks! She looks up and starts to laugh at her own joke. Her relaxed shell makes her look like a different soul. Sounds useful indeed. She returns to her previous position. Better go ahead and find out what to do. I'm not a kid anymore, but it may still take me a while. The chisel floats again, carefully examined by the enchantress. You find yourself a wooden block and sit down. You inspect your clothes, especially the cloak, and take a look at your blade. Finally, the enchantress stands still, holding her new creation in one hand and scratching her chin with the other. You gather your stuff and approach her, but she doesn't look at you. Ooh, is something wrong? Openness, this music is in the game. It's an absolutely beautiful game. It has so much atmosphere. Highly recommended. Quirrell has a shadow fact. Shadow facts says, when you're far enough from the lights of cities, even on a moonless night, when the sky is clear, the light of the galaxy is still enough to cast a shadow. Wow, thank you, shadow facts. Jabal, hello and welcome. Let's see. Something wrong? Jabal says, I like Eudosha a lot as a character. She's complicated in a very human and interesting way. I fully agree. She seems very autistic coded to me, which does naturally make me like her more. Have more empathy, I guess. I quite trust her judgment as well. No, not at all. I'm just surprised. She hands it back to you. I didn't expect that my past intuition was this sharp. I thought it would take me much longer. Well, go ahead, test it. Maybe there? She points at the wall behind her house. The chisel is just as warm as it was when you received it in Old Pagos, but now it quivers gently as if it's barely confining its power. You press it against one of the larger bricks, then hit it with the blunt side of your axe. The rock moves by about 2 inches with a pattern of cracks that resembles broken glass. After your next strike, it falls out of the wall, leaving behind only a cloud of dust. Excellent. Yeah. Eudosha welcomes your return with a confident smile. Pretty good, huh? Thanks to you, I finished what I left behind many years ago. She takes a deep breath. Let me know if you need or else. She still doesn't trust me enough to speak about, and nobody trusts me enough to speak about Asterion. Oh, maybe I should leave and come back and that'll change, I don't know. Can I get to shelter? No, I'll have to seek shelter. It'll take me to Foggy Lake though, totally worth it. I need food there anyway. Kayama says I think she's my favourite character of the game. I think she well deserves it. The screeching birds are sitting on the logs of the palisade. Some of them observe you, but the group doesn't cease its squabbling. You spot a baited claptrap set near the palisade. Let's sleep. Oh, I don't have very much money, but I'm going to pay the rent to get better sleep, cleaner sleep. Listening to the grunts of the annoyed Shadowfax makes you feel uneasy, but at least the furs covering the floor are helping you relax. You don't even notice when it's already morning, and while the smell coming from the lower floor is not inviting, at least it's not you who has to take care of it. I approach Foggy. I'd like to eat. Oh, that was good. I'm gonna eat again. I'm gonna like to eat. Great. The next job, we should definitely ask her about that. We need to be building this trust. Still interested? I have a message to Iazen, the innkeeper of the Pelt of the North. His place is in the far south, a huge bother for us to get there. Bother worth, let's say, 3 dragons. That's pretty good. She sits down on a stool and looks you in the eyes. The scars and wrinkles on her thoughtful face could belong to a statue. Tell him, are we still trading? Running out of patience. Remember it well, eh? Bring me the answer, only then you'll get paid. That seems fair. Will you tell me what this is all about? She frowns. I don't ask you to negotiate in my name, but I guess it won't hurt to tell you that Iason and I were thinking about working together. He'd invest in my place and would get his share of profits in the future in a shelter for his hunters. He was meant to send me the first pouch of dragons, but it's fallen silent. I want to know where we stand. Well, they were attacked. Quirrell says, I think Aesen's name is usually pronounced Yason? Yason, thank you. Cool. I'll do it. Alright, we have to check on him. On Yason. I don't need to rest. Oh, I'm not doing well health-wise. I can get a full heal. Hang on, I've earned a full heal from... Do I have any healing potions on me? No. I have a full heal from the Elder, from the Forest Speaker. How long is that? 4 hours and 45 minutes. I'm gonna go straight down and then I'll travel back up to the monastery. Alright. Two blue-tailed monkeys are jumping on the rocky mountainside, chasing each other and screaming cheerfully. For a moment, you see not only the old druid, but also his female companion. Touched by years, she's leaning forward. As you arrive, she hides inside the cave. The man welcomes you with an annoyed, "What? What do you need, traveller?" I'm hurt. I'd like to collect my reward. He reaches for your hands. Now, the less you blink, the less time it will take. Focus. You look back into his eyes, enjoying the time in its chaotic run to entropy. Through the blue flowers, butterflies, the sky. You barely notice the waves of Numa that crawl through your arms. Wow! Okay, we're looking a lot better now. Approach the spring. Can I bathe in the spring? No. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We seem healthy. Let's see. 2 hours 15 to get to the monastery. That seems acceptable. Let's do it. Quirrell says, "Hi, Forest Man, I broke. Fix? Yes, fix, please. Fix. Primordial Nightmare, hello and welcome. Roadwarden is going so well. I really feel like we're winding down in the game. Alright, let's go to the monastery and give them the quills, but we haven't agreed to do their other job because it seemed real shady. Eudosha doesn't like them, I would also add. Why can't I give you the quills? About the things you asked me to do. Okay, there we go. The river is attacking its banks fiercely, filling the valleys with its roar. You spot just a few hooded figures by the brooks. The loud thudding of tools that comes from the cave mouth echoes through the valley. You call the monks by hitting the sticks, and the drawbridge lowers. Ailey welcomes you with a cheerful wave of his bandaged hand. Salutations! Glad to see thee in one piece. His young companion is right next to him, observing the sky with a wide grin. About the things you asked me to do. I'm listening. Here are your quills. Quest completed! He reaches for the case with his bandaged hand and opens it gently. He greets them with a wide, yellow smile. So our deal was about 5 dragons. Right. He hesitates as he reaches to his bag and pulls out the reward, then hands it to you with his bare hand. Fair coin for fair work. That's all. Oh, does he like me enough to place these rods? Maybe? What if I save? I'm gonna ask. I'm not doing that other job for him. Eudosha the Enchantress wants to place these rods in high points across the peninsula. Can you help me out? You've brought her magic here. He steps back while Decima turns toward you and reaches behind her back with one hand. Ailey's voice is close to a shout. Take it away before you put all of us in danger. Look! You just had me get magic quills from her, you massive hypocrite! Quirrell says, what was the other job you didn't want to do? He made me promise that I would be loyal to the right and loyal to the job, no matter what, without telling me what the job was. And that if I did it, they would show me to their prelate. So I didn't agree. It was really suspicious and very intense. And I don't really trust these people like at all, so... calm down, it's just a piece of bronze. His pale face starts turning red. The echo adds a thunder to his words. You're not asked for your thoughts. You think yourself a judge after you put your trust in that witch? He points at you with a bandaged finger. She's a beast in clothes. Its claws will tear away thy head. Well, great working with you. Thanks for the dragons. What time is it? 5 hours. It's 4.5 hours to Foggy's, which is where I'm going to want to sleep. Oh, is it where I'm going to want to sleep? I'll probably want to sleep in Howler's. Or in the Elder's Cave. I might just travel to the rock slide. Probably a mistake, but I'm going to do it. Kariwa says, is the switch from yeah to thy meaningful? It seems like this has been inconsistent. This man seems to be affecting the use of more archaic language. Like, it doesn't come naturally to him. He often confuses which ones he should be using, and he's not consistent with the use of it. So, just a character trait, I guess. Rowan says that went well. About as well as things usually go. Kayama says, I read it as him getting his emotions under control and remembering the way he was supposed to speak. That's a good way to read it, yeah. Okay. We're going to the rock slide. As you descend, you think of Ailey's reaction to the bronze rod. You could ignore him and take a few minutes to tie it to one of the ledges just nearby. This place is already high above the woodlands. I'm gonna do it. Just in case, I look behind, then get on the ground. You seek a spot that isn't too easily seen from the trail, then make sure it won't crumble under your weight. After a few minutes, you finish placing the rod, held by a cord and a few heavy rocks. You doubt anyone would stumble upon it. I continue my journey. Eudocia's not evil. Kariva says, rock slide. You know, like a water slide, but with rocks instead. Woo! Somehow it seems less fun. Oh, I already have to seek shelter. Oh, heck. Seek shelter. Travel. You approach the opening gate, then swiftly dismount. A guard approaches you, ready to take your mount to a stable. Good to see you. How are your journeys? I'm glad they're being nice to me. We gossip for a bit. The curious locals gather around to take part in your conversation. Recently, a massive beast has tried to make a lair among the hemp fields. It may be the time to form a night watch. I enter the village. Sleep! Wait. What did that say about the rods? The mayor won't give me permission, so I can't place it. Let's try sleep. I'm going to pay the rent and get cleaner. And I'll keep my food and heart, I guess. Although, actually, I will lose 2 and 1. That's not so bad. I'm going to sleep for free. The shivers wake you up. You open the window and see the dense fog covering Howler's Creek. Wait, this is Howler's Delbert. Spreading like milk throughout the entire village. You hear an amused quarrel coming from the main square and spot the dancing light of torches and lanterns. Yet the village remains calm and asleep. While I'm looking for a candle, I think of the many times I've heard parents tell their naughty kids that the fogs will take them. Mysterious. Okay, I'm like a little bit dirty, but that's like fine. That's just what my life is like. Okay, we've got a full day to handle this rock slide, and I'm going to do it. We've got a magic chisel. Surely. All I can do now is turn back? What? Ugh. I'm gonna have to ask Thias. I'm gonna ask Thias. We gossip for a bit. I enter the village. looking for Thias. I ask a guard to look for the mayor. The guard informs you that she needs to look for her, so you sit down on a bench and wait for what feels like an eternity. When Thias joins you, she apologizes for the wait, though her voice and eyes are harsh. I bring news about the other parts of the peninsula. I can't wait to hear it. Oh, I don't want to spy about Foggy is my friend. That's all I have to say. I'm not doing that. She leans forward, and even though she smiles, her voice is close to a whisper. I wonder, why are you here? What pushes someone to become a Roadwarden? I just want to help people. She waits, expecting that there's more to be said, and lets out a nervous chuckle. Forgive me, it's not something I mostly hear from children, not travellers. She observes you with keen eyes, but after another few breaths, she shrugs her doubts off. What else do you need? I'm not giving you the news. I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna leave. Why would I tell her about this? This is out of place. She knows that they were stricken by a plague because I cured them, and she's mad about it. Maybe you need to select it from your inventory? That's not usually how it works, Quirrell. I could try it. I'm gonna leave the square. I'm going to travel to Pelt of the North. The guard ignores your arrival. As you ride in, the other hunters sitting at a table and on the stairs, gossiping with mugs of beer in their hands. You hear the sounds of work coming from the armourer's workshop. I get off my horse and enter the inn. I could do with fixing my armour. Two guards are looking through an open window, embracing each other. They don't spare you a look. The innkeeper is dusting the counter and the shelves with a cloth. Tulia is chopping vegetables, from time to time taking them to the innkeep. I go to the innkeeper. So, you again. Need anything? Foggy has a message for you. The innkeeper listens to Foggy's words patiently, then crosses his arms and leans back, lost in his thoughts. Seems like she won't be played so easily. After you mention the answer, he tells you to relax. You'll have it soon. See, I've lost her first share. Asterion was meant to deliver it to her, never happened. I don't want to waste more. But she doesn't need to know it. He raises a bowl that sits nearby and reveals a few dragon bones. He counts off 5 of them. Tell her this. Asterion lost your coin, I am now in debt. Let's be partners for now. I'll send you more once I have it, but I don't promise anything. He pushes the coins toward you, observing them like a hawk. They are yours. Just help me keep the charade going now and later. It's important to me. I don't want to lie to Foggy. You've lost her share. Why did you tell me? Why not just tell me what you're having me tell her? I don't want to be part of this lie. Sam, hello and welcome. Why even bother? Yeah. He makes a nervous hiss as he breathes through his teeth. I plan to sell her furs in the late autumn, and I hope she'll keep sending people here whenever they stop at her place. I want to stay on her good side. She doesn't get hurt in any way. Bah, I'll spread a good word about her if it comes to it. And if the winds change and the city folk start trading here once the roads get safer, he meets your eyes, I may return to our deal. I'm not lying to her. Wait, I could lie and take the coins! I never really, IRL, I'm really anti-lying, but I do want the coins. I don't want to tell her the truth. I'm just gonna tell him I won't lie to her, though. Sam says, why did you tell me this? Now I have to decide if I want to be part of this lie. Exactly! What the heck is happening? He's bad at lying for telling me the truth, frankly. Rowan says this is a very weird conversation. It truly is. I won't lie to her. I won't take the coins. He grabs the coins. As you wish, but don't expect you'll be rewarded by her. I mean, I won't, but she gives me food for very cheap and has been nice to me, so about Gloucester's band? Oh, I have to get answers from Howler's Dell and they won't tell me anything. Sam says, I hate lying, but do I hate it more than I want those coins? Yeah. Money is so hard to come by in this game. Well, I guess I'm leaving. I don't want to leave with Tulia yet. How much is armor? You walk past the well and find a small open shed, not unlike the stable, with a humble set of tables, carving tools, hammers, sharpening stones, pincers, knives, and other tools. As long as something can be solved by brute force, this place will find a way to do so. There are 2 people sitting on a long bench. The first one is a male with maybe inch-long hair, a cleanly shaven face, a thin, long yellow tunic, bare legs, and sandals. He ignores your presence, sewing a gambesson with great concentration. The second person is a boy, maybe 15, who's wearing the crude outfit of a farmer. He glances at you, but soon returns to sharpening a long dagger. I wait for him to notice me. After a few minutes, the man finishes his task and raises his head. He puts away the piece of garment on the table, stands up, bows to you, and shrugs, waiting for you to speak. I'm in need of your services. Kyrie says he asked you to lie, so I figure lying to him would have been fine. It did kind of feel that way. He nods, points at the laces in the front of your jacket, raises his clenched fingers to his shoulder, then gently spreads and lowers them as if he's taking off a robe. You follow his command and allow him to properly inspect your gambesson. After a few minutes, he gives it back, then reaches for his pouch. He pulls out 1 dragon bone, shrugs, then another one, and waves them both in the air, pursing his lips. He makes a few speech-like noises with his empty mouth, groaning what sounds like, I don't know. I consider his offer. In 1 hour, I'll gain 1 extra... Yeah, that sounds good. Your jacket is as good as his armor can make it. Okay. 3 out of 4. Could you patch my clothes if they were torn? He shakes his head and points at the uneven seams on his own tunic, then grabs a crude bone needle and shows you its broken head. He wouldn't even if he had the tools, says the boy. You can try and Howler's Dell or Gale Rocks. Alright. Okay, I've spoken to these people before, I think. Ugh. I think the answers to the bandit are to be found in Gale Rocks. And I am looking healthy enough now that I think I could try the skeletons. What would you like me to pursue next, everyone? I feel like I have a lot of options. We could look for people to help us with the rocks, maybe. I guess we would go to creeks. Oh, they're so far away. Why would they help? But I couldn't ask Thias for help, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do there. We could clear the skeletons out of the old tunnel. We could go to Gale Rocks and try to find more information about the bandits. Quarrel says Fluffle votes skeletons. Jabal says, can you use the new chisel on the rock slide? When I went there, it said there's nothing more you can do. Quarrel thinks it's possible I can select it from my inventory, but I didn't have any prompt, so I'm not sure. Kariva says, I have news from Howler's Dell. They renamed the town to Howler's Dell where they hate me. No one knows why. Lie. That's pretty good. How much time do I have left? Alright, we might as well pass the rock slide on the way. Wait. Maybe? I'm gonna... I'll try and pass... I'm just gonna go to Foggies and sleep, and then we'll see where we go from there. Kariva votes skeletons. Okay. Yeah, I think we're arriving here quite close to dusk. Yeah. I think this was the correct decision. Let's sleep. I won't get as gross. I'll do it. Oh, I'm looking grim. I'd like to eat. I'd like to eat again. I need to buy fresh meals. Okay, that's 4 more meals. That's good. I had a talk with Jason. She encourages you with a smile. And what did he say, love? I mentioned that he wanted me to lie to her. Yeah. Yeah. She walks around the hearth like a bear in a cavern, dusting the shells with a wet cloth. She keeps silent for a minute or two, then throws the rag into some jars, knocking them on the ground. Her loud words cover the cracking sound. So that's how it is. Her tone remains in control. She puts her hand on your shoulder, looking into your eyes. I appreciate your honesty, Strider. She hands you the cold pieces of bone. Here are your dragons. She steps away, looking through the window shutters. There will be consequences, she announces, lowering her voice. Ah, heck. I don't really want there to be consequences, just, you know. Alright, let me know if you have anything else you want me to do. She scratches the stump of her missing arm. Her powerful voice carries a hint of a threat. I need a soul who I know won't steal from me. And I'm still not sure it's you, dear. I don't know what else you want me to do. I've really done everything. I've never stolen from you. I just didn't lie to you, even though it would have got me lots of money. I have no idea what else you would ask of me, but fine, I guess. Can I make anything with the alchemy set? Can I make a healing potion? That would be really good. I'm missing the ingredients. Can I make the blinding powder? No. Can I make the withering dust? No. Can I make this? No. Okay, I can't really make anything. Jabal says, can we ask Maury the tavern now? Oh, that's a good point. We could try that again. I'd like to learn more about your tavern. What burdened your soul? You seem to be into some expensive drinks. I think we've asked this before. The pricey ones are gifts I received or treasures I found when I was young. I also bought a few. I like to offer something unusual to the wealthier or more promising guests. She glances at the trapdoor. You saw my brewing set. I don't even know how some of these tools work. Still, from ales to hard drinks, I had some successes. Let's change the topic. I must say, love, I rarely meet folks with that many questions. She gives you a warm look. What hides beneath them? We all need friends, don't we? She rests her hand on her stomach. We do, but some of us need them more than the others. I'd say it's better for me to have a peek into a Roadwarden's head. A good one could shake things up a fair bit. The bad ones, well, they die quickly. Well, I'm not dead yet. Okay. Any more questions about the peninsula? No. Wait, okay. Which place? Bandits! She puts her hand on her side, pushing her chest out. Why would I know where the bandits are hiding? Better watch your words. Okay, well, thanks for your time. Sam, I have never met folk who ask this many questions. Oh, so you've never met a protagonist before? That's cute. Absolutely. I don't know what else to ask about the peninsula. Rock slide, maybe? Let me think. That's the road in the far west, eh? The one between Howler's Dell and their fishing hamlet. The rocks blocked it over a decade ago. Okay. Alright, we had a couple votes for skeletons. I'm gonna go ahead and go for the skeletons. We're gonna wash in the stream, and then we're going to the old tunnel. Okay. I wash myself in the stream. I wash my shell. Look at it! We seem healthy! We did it! The old tunnel. How much have I got left of the day? Plenty of time. This is gonna be so dangerous. Oh, so dangerous. We haven't done it yet before either, so I'm gonna have to reread a lot of this on this playthrough, perhaps. So we can get, and it's been a long time since I did it. A large shadow coming from above makes you reach for your blade. But the dragon doesn't care about a meal as humble as you. It flies toward the sea, letting out a single roar. Hang on. I'm gonna do a little save and then a big save. Yep. Okay. Oh, I can place a bronze rod somewhere? Yes. You find the perfect spot, a small crack between two massive rocks. You use the rod to broaden it just a bit, then push it halfway in and fill the gaps with a rag. I dust off my hands. Shadowfax is looking around, but so far no other beasts have shown up. Time to see what hides inside. I grab my lantern. You place a candle on the ground and light it up with a few sparks from your tinderbox. You shove it inside the lantern through the holes in its top, pressing it onto a nail. You shake it for a bit, making sure it will stay standing. The candle isn't as bright as your torch, but it's safer, will last longer, and can easily be replaced by another one. I enter the tunnel. Oh, scary! We're doing the skeletons! Kyrus' dragon sighting. I mean, a second dragon sighting. We've already got one dragon visible at the moment. Jabal says, I wonder if Foggy's low trust was in any part due to your 1 out of 5 appearance score. Well, I was just too stinky to trust. Hurt. That's quite possible. Well, we'll go back and find out. I haven't really worked out what effect appearance really has on anything. I just know I'm trying to keep it up. The road ahead is like the one you just crossed. A human-carved, straight corridor supported with beams, while the other paths are curved and narrow. The only light comes from the exit minutes away from here. I look around. The remains of prey and fruit are rotting, but get sparser the deeper you enter the tunnel. The moist walls are shining as if they're made of an ore unknown to human tribes. You observe the dried trails. The ones left by boots lead toward both corridors. The path to your right also has marks left by hooves and wheels. Some of the fresher trails leading deeper into the tunnel resemble human souls, but deformed, lacking skin between their toes. I wonder, some kind of human-shaped foot without skin. Sam, I was referring to myself. Okay, I turn left. The air in the chamber is humid. The straw beds are covered with mould. The sagging racks are bending under their own weight, and the animal pelts on the floor release a terrible stench. I search the room carefully. Using an old walking stick, you push the furs and mattresses aside, and you spare your gloves from touching the sticky odds and ends by wrapping them with a cloth. You find only one thing of value hidden in a rare, dry bowl pushed to the side of a shelf. A tiny ring made of bone. Not a coin, but a piece of jewellery. Still elegant, with a distinguished carving of a fish on its top and scales on its sides. Sounds like something someone at Gale Rocks might like. I leave the chamber. I turn right. Kyrie says, find a mirror, use it to practice saying you activated my trap card. I'm certainly going to be laying a lot of traps. Very soon. The corridor is unlike the others, taller and more rounded, with claw marks on the walls. It leads you to a chamber with a ceiling supported by a single beam. There's also an abandoned cart, the fence of an animal pen, and a few long sticks and planks. You take a glance at the new exit. It leads slightly upward and looks like a bit of stairs. I'll search the room. You find no caches or boxes and the cart is empty. The one thing that draws your attention are the planks and logs themselves. They're in decent shape, flexible, though too moist to be worth carrying out of the cave. They could be turned into a new door, or maybe a table. I climb the stairs. I need to get the big skeleton. You flinch after the light touches the resting bone, but nothing tries to jump at you, and you hear no shuffling feet. You step forward and take a closer look at the remains of the massive creature. It used to be 2 times as long as your palfrey, 3 if you were to count the hind limbs. It resembles a bear, but its skull has no sharp teeth and is of a different shape. I take a closer look. The ribs of the creature are as long as your own trunk, though the age makes them brittle. You observe the long legs, horse-like head, and the massive stomach. You can't tell if you've ever seen such a beast alive, but surely not its trophies. A part that's uniquely sharp are the creature's claws. They could pierce 2 sides of your skull at once, as curved as a war pick and as heavy as an axe, and the marks on the walls perfectly matched them. While impressive, they're too old and awkward to be turned into tools. I want I want the claws. I can't get them. I leave the chamber. I move forward. You forge ahead, and for another few long minutes, no longer able to see the light from the exit. You'd need to stand on someone's shoulders to touch the ceiling. So far, you could ride through the tunnel without getting out of the saddle. The sound of a stream is reaching you from ahead. This time, there are no side paths. I examine the tunnel. You spend a few minutes walking back and forth. Here, the wooden support is denser, with more beams on the walls and on the ceiling. The trash, on the other hand, is sparse, and you find nothing of use. The animal trails turn back to the entrance, with the exception of the human-like bony prints. I move forward. The stream has formed a wide pond. You stab it in a few spots, but it turns out to be only a finger or two deep. There's no sign of a bridge. I crouch and take a closer look. It's clean, but the dark rocks and the lack of light camouflage its soft, sand-like bed. You find a few fish bones and other remains, but with every step you disturb the sediment, further clouding the water. The water flows from your right to the left. Its trail is wide enough to follow, at least for a few steps, and so tall you can do so without crouching. I follow the water. Ooh, we got some cave ear mushroom. The corridors become less spacious after just a few steps, but you manage to take a good look around, moving both with and against the flow. The wet walls are home to worms, mould, and what looks like pale spiders, though with only 6 legs. Among the commotion you spot a cave ear sticking out of the wall. A familiar, though unfriendly, mushroom, the creamy colour distorted by your light. You grab your knife and cut away what seems like the least bug-infested chunk, and after wrapping it with a linen sheet, you wash your hands. The cave ear is used by some fighters to enhance their senses in combat. Combined with a snakebait flower, it could be a helpful addition to your collection of potions. Ooh. I move forward. The open door to your right leads to a narrow corridor. You take a look further down the tunnel. A cave-in broke the timber, blocking the path forward. Take a closer look at the cave-in. You push away a few rocks, making them roll on the floor, but the blockade is at least a few steps deep. It would take an entire team of diggers to get through, if it's possible at all. You climb up a bit and peek through a larger hole, close to the ceiling. There's a weak light coming from the distant end of the tunnel. And I step away. I walk through the door. It squeaks. The corridor resembles the interiors of a fortress with flat, regular walls, and a ceiling so low you couldn't ride through it. You reach another much larger chamber which seems to mimic the corridor's style. I enter it. The spoiled food and mouldy planks make you hold your breath. The chamber used to serve as a dining spot with tables, chairs, shelves for mugs and barrels of drinks, but all that's left are worms and mustiness. You don't see the furthest wall until you bring your light closer. The open door leads to a new natural cavern. Another closed door is in the corner of the room, opposite the one you came from. I search the chamber. I found a small iron key. The place was abandoned in haste, but you find no signs of large creatures' bones or destruction. The wood gives way only to time. A few of the barrels still contain liquids, though you wouldn't dare open them. Close to the exit leading to a cave, you find a hook with its simple iron key. You pick it up, but it stains your hand with rust. I try to open the door in the corner. The door gives way. The next room is also too large for your light to reach all the corners at once. The empty shelves, chests, and spear racks give you no promise of a hidden treasure, but you also find a box with rusty nails, a cracked barrel in the corner, and a broken blade. You could spend some time collecting these and other iron scraps and then sell them in a village. In the room's corner, you notice a wide sheet of mouldy fabric that covers a large part of the wall. I'm going to collect the metal scraps. Having no useful tools at hand, you struggle to dismantle the barrel and cut away all the bits of wood that are attached to the pieces of iron and steel. After a long while, you prepare a decent, clanging sack. For now, you move it to the dining chamber and leave it by the exit. I examine the curtain. It's divided in the center, allowing you to draw it. Behind it, you find a tiny room, maybe 2 steps wide and 3 steps deep. It's silent, not as humid. The wall ahead isn't like the others. It's covered with red and purple bricks. I look for anything unusual. The walls to your left and right bear a few iron hooks that could be used to hang cloaks, paintings, or trophies. The corners aren't too dusty, and there are no footprints on the floor. You inspect the brick wall further. In its center, at chest height, you spot a distinctive engraving. It's a winged hourglass about a finger long. That's a symbol of the rite. This is a secret room, a secret area, like in the dolmen. I break the brick with the tool of destruction! We have a thing! Hang on. I break the brick with the tool of destruction. It takes only 2 hits. You move the broken pieces on the ground, then reach inside the secret compartment. You find a key made of bronze as large as your forearm. The now destroyed brick used to be held by some sort of mechanism. What is this key for? What if this key is for the watchtower? That would be huge. That's a big key. It is a big key. I leave the room. I return to the tiny room. No, I leave the room. I leave the room. I haven't been through the ajar door. The cave is so moist that the diggers placed planks on the ground, serving as a now useless bridge through the puddles. The rocks shaped like icicles ominously hang from the ceiling, in some spots merging with their on-the-floor counterparts and forming hourglass-like columns. I search the chamber. You leave the rotten planks and explore the cavern carefully, making the light dance on the droplets and puddles, but you find nothing of use or value. Try to open the door. This is going well. I can't believe we actually had a useful thing. This is so rare. Sam says, I don't know what the tool of destruction is, so now I'm imagining our character just pulling out a gun and shooting the wall. We have a magic chisel, which has been the result of a long series of quests, so it's very exciting. Jabal says, doesn't this cave system have a massive back door? It does, but I thought the keys were held in Gale Rocks. Open Nest says, have to go now. It was nice hanging out for a little while. See you some other time. Thank you so much for being here. It's been lovely. I hope you have a great rest of the day. The door opens quietly, and you return to the main tunnel. You could turn south again and see if there's anything you missed. But after you blink a few times, you realize there's a light at the opposite end of the tunnel, far ahead. It's weak and flickers like a torch. Ooh. Okay, so this is the skeleton's light, I think, when we came here before. Head back to the cave of the stalactites. This is not what I want to do. Go back to the dining room. Have I been to the armory? Okay, well, I leave the room. I return to the main tunnel. I go as deep into the tunnel as I can. I'm going to hide my light. You simply put it on the ground in the entrance to the cavern with the stalactites. You'll pick it up if you need it. I move closer to the light. You put away your light and sneak forward. You pay attention to the sounds and movements, but there's no crackling of a campfire, no wandering or chatter. You see a shape of a gate far in the distance. I try to get close. I look for anything unusual first. Yeah, unusual. Though you do so in almost complete darkness, you notice something blocking your boot. You crouch and touch the long cord stretched right above the ground, in a few spots holding pieces of wood and bone that are meant to make a sound if disturbed. You cut it carefully, putting the remains of the trap on the floor. Okay. I have a little save. We're doing good, but thus begins the skeleton fight. Ooh, okay. I try to get close enough to see who's responsible for the light. Slowly but surely you reach the edge of the light, but don't dare to get any closer. The distinctive shadows belong to unmoving, human-like shadows that have no flesh on their necks and chests. Only the bones. You move back. There may be 3 undead there, if not more. You could prepare some surprises in the tunnels to slow them down or even weaken them. But who knows how easy it would be to outsmart them. Scholar knowledge? I may not have much practice with hunting, but I know a few things about traps. Yes! Okay. With your vague knowledge of carpentry and a few attempts, you should be able to figure out a few tricks, deadfalls, whip traps, or footholds. All you need is to pay close attention to your surroundings and to find some wood, tools, and sharp rocks. It shouldn't be too difficult in these corridors. However, not all traps will be equally effective in every spot. I'm not going to shout yet. I go back to the crossroads. It's time to lay a bunch of traps. Okay, bone knowledge! Exactly, Coral. It's bone knowledge time. I'm going to put a trap here. Being so close to the undead may alert them with noises. To place a trap here, you have to be quiet and careful. I could tie the monster claws to a branch and construct a whip trap, and I will. Trap time! Yeah, we're finally doing this! You could hide the bent branch behind one of the supporting beams, so it won't be easy to camouflage the triggering cord in the darkness. Since you lack proper tools and you have to be careful, it will take you more than an hour. You have enough claws, cords, and wood to build 2 whip traps in the entire tunnel. Well, this is the only option here. Let's do it here. Once you're done, you take a long look at the triggering cord. Getting hit with these monstrous claws could kill you on the spot. Wow. I head back to the cave for the stalactites. And I consider putting a trap here. I'm going to make a few foothold traps to slow them down. It would be easy to carve holes in the soggy planks and surround them with sticks. It should be enough to catch one's foot, even if only for a few breaths. Since you already know where to find some decent wood, you can get this done in just a few minutes. Let's do it. Once you're done, you observe the traps carefully. Even in strong light, they're barely visible. And I move to the dining room, and I consider putting a trap here. You look around. I could break the barriers and cover the floor with slippery liquid. I could crush the monsters with a deadfall trap. I want to use the barrels here because it's a unique option to this area. They should contain more than enough old drink, but unless you trust that your own shell can manage on a difficult surface, it may hurt you more than the undead. I do not trust that. I will make a different trap. Let's make a deadfall trap. You could hang the load of wooden planks and beams right above the entrance and make it collapse with a pull of a rope. You can't be sure if such moist wood will be effective at hurting anything. Since you lack proper tools, it may take you up to 2 hours. No. Okay, let's do the liquid thing. It doesn't take long, but the stench is gut-wrenching. The mouldy ales inside us spill over the floor, making it both sticky and slippery. You wash your blade with a water skin. The armory? I can't leave traps here. Okay, tiny room? No, I leave the room. I leave the room. I return to the main tunnel. I put a trap here. I could crush the monsters with the deadfall. Let's try that here. What about the whip trap here? Unless the creatures have extraordinary reflexes, you doubt it could avoid the hit after it stumbles over the triggering cord. That sounds really good. Let's do that. Okay. Can I do anything in the dining chamber? I've already done that. I return to the main tunnel. I'm struggling. I return to the stream. I put a trap here. I can make a few foothold traps. Let's do it. It's getting late. I head to the exit. And I put a trap here. I don't have the supplies I need. Alright, I think it might be time. Oh, I could put some in the animal pen? Hang on. I don't have enough supplies. I probably put these traps in the wrong places. A good large shelter. Okay. Alright, there's nothing to do but to go as deep into the tunnel as I can and see what happens. Jabal says, I think the key here is just to be methodical and do as many traps as you can. Basically get right back to the entrance before you go in and summon the undead. But I screwed this up, so who knows really? I mean, I've done every trap it told me I could do, but obviously you can't put a trap in every room. So I've probably done some of them too soon. I don't know. We're gonna get to the entrance and fight them. So, I'm going as deep as I can. I follow the long tunnel. I cup my hands around my mouth and let out a shout. Ah! I'm doing it. I come in peace! If they attack, it's on them! Sam says you can get this done in a few minutes. Nice try, brain. I've fallen for that. Counts in head too many times already. Oh. Relatable. Primordial says might have been best to consider traps in every room before assembling them. Yeah, quite possibly. I didn't do very well. But look, I'm not used to fighting things. I normally run away. The creatures don't scream or wail, and neither make threatening gestures nor cast angry glances. You hear only the rattle of their bones as they hit against the rocky floor. The empty eye sockets of the naked skulls reveal nothing. The 4 skeletons wear a few rags, and 2 of them still have scraps of flesh on their limbs. Their weapons are unconvincing, simple digging tools and spears tipped with rocks, but you notice the speed and confidence of their movement. The one in the back is holding a wooden lantern, while another one is carrying a fresh torch. The group doesn't pay much attention to their steps. Sam says, I and my traps come in peace. Look, if they don't attack me, then they will never encounter the traps. Primordial says, not sure that shooting a crossbow on skeletons would be useful anyway. True, true. Hang on. I run to the door behind me. You jump over the cord stretched above the floor, but after one of the undead triggers it, it gets hit only with the tip of the branch, not too forcefully. Ugh! You glance behind, and while the creature needs to get back on its feet, it's still going. So you needed not to place one there. I don't know how to do this. I run to the chamber with these stalactites. You jump over the foothold traps awkwardly, and the undead won't realize what's happening. After one of them sinks into the hollowed plank, the other comes to a halt, helping it get out. It's your opportunity to act. I want them to get hurt before I act. I'm ready to... No, I run to the dining chamber. After a few steps, you hear the rattling of bones. The undead hit the ground, though their skulls show no concern. They get up slowly, but you still have a few moments to turn against them. I leave. You lead the undead to a short corridor. The door has no lock, but you can't keep them away, but they have to enter one at a time. I should use the opportunity to strike the closest one, then move back. That does sound good. Ooh, I didn't lose anything. You manage to surprise it with your fierce attack, cutting off its arm with a confident thrust, then step away, unable to swing your blade in such a limited space. While the undead leans away for a few moments, it doesn't take it long for it to straighten up again. I keep running. You jump over the triggering cord, but the undead doesn't even notice its presence. A powerful hit in its chest sends it back, and you hear a loud crack. After a few moments, the last undead shuffles forward, even though it has no ribs. I can slow it down first, though. I turn toward the stream. You slow down slightly, making sure to avoid all the foothold traps, and the undead spurt forward, but not for long. After one of them sinks into the bottom of the pond, the other comes to a halt, helping it get out. It's your opportunity to act. This is my last trap. I'm gonna go in now. Oh, that sounds really annoying, that list. Sam says I should really catch up on the Roadwarden vaults. It sounds amazing and I want to know what's going on. I highly recommend playing it, Sam. It's really, really good. I'm ready to face the undead. Oh! Ooh! Ouch! Your boots are wading the stream. After you exchange a few hits with the skeletons, which seem to have much greater control over their stance than their light shells would suggest, you almost slip. With or without flesh, your target blocks and dodges, making you fight as if you're facing a human, not a bloodthirsty beast. You struggle to land any hit, with the weight of your axe hardly compensating for the parrying, darkness, and rattling. Your brave swing turns into a desperate fight for survival, when a powerful blow reaches your back, dangerously close to the spine, and is then followed by a strike to your cheek. I'm gonna die! And finally, you end up surrounded with crushed and detached bones, hurting so much you have tears in your eyes. The corridors fall silent. Your arm is bleeding heavily. You search your bags for bandages. I'll decide what to do with the corpses after I leave the tunnel. Oh, I think we did it! Sam says V, I'm ready to face the undead. Re in the distance. Damn it, Larry, get back here. Absolutely. Oh, we did it. I am looking bad. I'm gonna go all the way through the tunnel. I go as deep into the tunnel as I can. I follow the long tunnel north. I enter the dark chamber ahead. While the chamber is in shambles, you recognize its unusual furniture, the sharpened stakes, shield-like tables for crossbow users, empty spear racks. If necessary, it could be the last line of defense for guards and diggers, surrounding any beast or bandit determined enough to reach this end of the tunnel. You're in front of a massive double-leaf gate, taller than 2 humans made of bronze. You're not sure if a single shell can even move it. I search the room. While there's plenty of furniture to look under or push aside, the undead left little to no signs of their presence, as if they were idly standing for years. Interesting. A small pile of candles and another much larger one of candle stumps don't explain why the walking corpses would use light. You grab a few of the candles for later. I take a look at the gate. It's made of sheets held by thick bars. The pictures impressed on the surface portray fishes and their catch, sea monsters covered with nets, falling harpies, and working diggers. While it's doubtful it's made of a material worthy of turning into blades, it's priceless. You look through the keyhole, observing the continuing path and the clear sky with ease despite the cobwebs. You take a deep breath of fresh air, then put 4 fingers inside. What? I'm too weak to push it. I need 3 vitality. Alright, I go back to Shadowfax. It may be the right time to take care of the corpses. I mean, it's night, so I'm going to go with that it isn't. I'm going to seek shelter. It's taking me to Foggy Lake. We went to the far end. I would burn the corpses ASAP. Oh, heck. Well, I didn't. Oh. Hang on. I need to sleep. Foggy offers for you to rest here for free. Foggy likes me more. Thank you, Foggy. I'm sure it'll be fine and they won't reassemble overnight. Oh, no. Oh, yes, shell in this game, Primordial. Sorry, I missed that comment. Thank you, Rowan. Shells are just bodies. Any body. You notice it while you undress. One of your recent wounds is going to leave a mark. I first notice it by touch, then see its reflection on my blade, a long cut on my cheek. The deep cut in my hand still hurts, especially when I make a fist. I manage to ignore it, but the cut on my leg hurts with every step. The bruises on my stomach look like a night sky. Why would I care? It happens to all travelers given enough time. Let's just keep it clean. I like the bruises on my stomach look like a night sky. Sam says crosses out meat prison in notes and replaces it with shell. Excellent. Foggy, can I eat? Thank you so much. Okay, I have to go. I have to wash. And I have to go back to the tunnel. I wash myself in the stream. In less than an hour... Okay. I wash my shell. In less than an hour, I'll remove bloodstains from my clothes. 1! Ah! Please! Hang on, let's try creeks. Can I also bathe at creeks? Sam says having bruises on your stomach like the night sky sounds very painful. It really does. Please let me wash. No! I need to wash so desperately! I'm going back to the tunnel. Let's get rid of the corpses. Assuming they're still there, please still be there. It may be the right time to take care of the corpses. Picking up the bones won't take you much time, but the funeral traditions are rather demanding. You'd need to chop and gather enough wood to form a big pile somewhere down the hill. Of course, the orthodox approach is not the only one possible. Whoever these creatures used to be, they deserve proper parting rites. It may take me 3 hours or so, but I'll let them rest on a pyre. Or I'll spend an hour and a half breaking and crushing the bones, then spreading them around. In half an hour, I'll pick up all the bones and throw them around the hills, let the wolves and deer do their work. I'll get back to it later. I'll spend the time. They can have 3 hours of a pyre if that would make them happy. After spending a few more minutes in the darkness, you bring the 3 sacks filled with human remains to a small regrowing clearing. You put on gloves, prepare some tools, and collect wood from the thicket in the tunnel, crudely splitting branches and logs. Covered with sweat, soil, and the scent of smoke, you observe the head-high flames. The bones sticking out of the wood like hedgehogs' quills and crack from the heat loudly. I should wash my hands. Okay, I have the strength to open the other side of the tunnel, so I'm going to do that. They didn't undead themselves. The dead and undead did not undead themselves, Primordial. Great news. Alright, I enter the tunnel. I go as deep as I can. I open the gate with the huge key! Easier said than done. Rotating the key alone makes you hold your breath, and as you work at pushing the leaves open, you puff and blow, taking breaks. After it's done, you wipe your sweaty forehead, giving a proud look at the light that has now entered the chamber. I go back to Shadowfax. And we're travelling to Gale Rocks, where I will be rewarded! Woo! We used the huge key! Okay. I'm looking for a bath. Ooh! The steep banks are damp, so you head upstream to the wooden bridge, but you can hardly reach any water with your fingers there. You consider getting undressed, but a sudden voice behind you tells you to quit it. This current is strong, it'll catch you and bam! The man swings his arm. You crack your skull against the rocks. He points downstream. He's a large person with heavy boots that are dirty from mud, and a necklace made of a colourful shell as large as your hand. He approaches you, holding a few empty buckets, each one attached to a rope. He places them on the logs and crouches down, filling the buckets one by one. I ask him about washing myself at a well. He frowns. What are you, a child? What's your name? After you introduce yourself, he gives you a gentle nod. And I'm Aquila. We bathe in tubs, right? I have warm water in the shed. Oh, he's being nice to me! No one's been nice to me in so long! He directs your eyes at the boulder next to the path, though it in no way resembles sheds that one would find in the city. He straightens up and carries the buckets up the bank, one by one. Either help me carry water around the village for a few hours, or pay me if you're lazy enough. I'll make you a fine bath and wash your togs. Yes! He places the last bucket next to the boat, and you notice that another man is already taking one of them to the eastern gate. I could also sell you a bottle of perfumes, though it won't be of much use if you have no soap. I would love perfumes! He grins with his yellow teeth as if there's a punchline hidden in his words. We pick flowers of roses, violets, lavender, cherry. Good for hair, ears, and wrists. Just don't drink it. Oh, tell me about your services. 6 gold! Oh, but that would be huge. I would like to work for 2 hours. It did nothing? I would like the perfume. Oh, it did do something. Oh, thank goodness. He grins and asks you to wait with your horse and heads toward the western gate. Once he returns, he carries a small wooden box. He places it inside the shed on one of the old barrels. The box is filled with wool and small earthenware bottles, which he opens one at a time, allowing you to get a whiff of their contents. We make them as a village. The coins ain't for me, he explains. They're nice, ain't they? Which one do you want? Ooh. I think I would like to smell like lavender. Maybe that would make me sleepy. Like violet? What should I smell like, everyone? Oh, you can't see? I have 2 appearance right now. But because my appearance can't be more because my clothes are destroyed. 1 for lavender, 1 for violet for V. Oh, that is tempting. Another one for lavender. Lavender makes me sleepy, but it's a really nice smell. But violet for V. Calmly doesn't like lavender. Tiberius' Strider seems like a rosemary sort to me. Ooh. But then I'll smell like food. I'm going violet. Sam changes his mind to violet. Tiberius says rosemary is the scent of remembrance and Stride is about knowledge. Ooh, I'm going with rosemary. He smiles, picks up a bottle and puts it on the barrel, waiting for you to smell it again before you pay. You add the bottle to your other fragile pieces of equipment, and the man closes the box again and carries it away. I step away. Okay! I can go to the head woman now. Wait, who wanted me to clear the tunnel? There was someone who wanted me to clear the tunnel. The closed tunnel. It's not going to tell me. I guess I'll just go to Severina then. it Navica? Wasn't it a woman? Was it Rufina? Who was it? Wasn't it the barrel makers or carpenters? I don't know. It might have been Ayuno. I think you're right. Carrie Vorsas is the digger. Yeah. She's building a tall tower from her wooden blocks. Cheers, outsider. The tunnel in the south is open again. The undead are gone. As Yuno shakes the table, her toy structures fall apart. Merely like that? You cleared all them awoken on your own? After you nod, she looks at your axe, then at her toys. Better tell our headwoman about it, and I'll talk with the others. We can move to some serious work in spring, but it would be better for us to do the groundwork before snow falls. She shuffles the wooden blocks and moves them into a single row. And if the tunnel is somewhat safe, could you take a closer look at it, inspect the chambers? Report to me and I'll ask one of my neighbours to give you an easier time. Even though she seems to put no thought into it, the blocks are now ordered from brightest to darkest. Farewell. Okay, I could examine the tunnels for her. Can I do that again? I did examine them. That's fine. I'm going to go to the headwoman. You ascend the hill. The guard stands up and puts his woodwork on his pillow, then asks you to wait. You hear his and the headwoman's voices coming from the hall, and once the man returns, he nods gently. You're asked to enter. I follow him inside. Severina puts away her writing instruments and sighs, but doesn't say anything. Her violet eyes are absent. I put the gate key on her desk. The undead from your tunnel are gone. As she drags the key over the desk, it looks comically large in her tiny hand. Now would you look at that, she says to no one in particular, then looks you in the eyes. You face this threat for no good reason. I already told you I wasn't planning to work on the tunnel. She scratches the desk with the key, thinking. But I ain't gonna deny that it opens some opportunities. My neighbours are going to appreciate your selfless efforts. She tries to push the key into the nearby bags, but is suddenly interrupted by the voice of the perfumed guard, who speaks directly to you. I used to be the head of the undead garrison that kept the tunnel safe. He steps toward you. Until it was left to itself 10 years ago, against my advice. I don't care if you're a Roadwarden, an adventurer, or a drifter. You deserve a reward, and if our headwoman ain't willing to reward your contribution, he reaches for the belt that holds his sickle sword, and Severina, with unmasked frustration, tells him to hold it. Don't get so dramatic. Here. She tosses a small pouch, and it lands at the edge of the desk. 10 should be enough, considering you weren't asked to move as much as a finger. Scat and talk to Yuno, our digger. She'll have some grand plans coming to her soul. Maybe you'll manage to keep them on a leash. I already talked with her. I'm just here to leave the key with you. She glances at the exit. She still doesn't trust me. Maybe I just need to be clean. Okay, we did it. We did it. I'm gonna sleep. I think Primordial says, what did he plan to do? Give you the sword? I think so. I'm gonna sleep. This went well. 0 rent. Alright. The rain once again hits the ground, interrupting your sleep. No! I hate rainy days in this game. Could I have my clothes fixed from the tailor? Oh, this bone ring looks like something from here. Okay, I was going to stop, but I'm just going to quickly do a little bit of this. This bone ring looks like something from here. She moves it to the light, widens her eyes, and speaks with melancholy. I made it myself, I did, as a little lass. For someone who used to be madly in love, but is now taken by the storms. He was better at digging than sailing. She puts the ring on the counter. His wife is still around, though. Leave it with me for 2 coins? It will mean a lot to her. Yeah, take it. Much appreciated. She takes out 2 dragon bones from a box that's indistinguishable from the one with the fasteners, then leaves your ring on the counter. What can you do for me? Ooh, you can fix so much stuff! I could buy a Gambazon repair kit and a sewing kit. I've never had this option before. Should I do it? Jabal, do you think it's worth buying a sewing kit and a repair set? And then I could fix my own clothes? Or is it is it better to just keep paying for things to be repaired? Do you have the skills to use them? I assume so. Let's save and check. I save. I'm going to buy this and a sewing kit. Alright. I'm poor again, just like I'm used to. I can't use my inventory right now. Okay. So what happens if I head outside? Inventory. Your lack of proper training will hold you back. Hang on. Spend 2 hours to increase your armor by 1. Oh, so you spend time doing it instead. Okay. I'll just spend the rest of today fixing my clothes then. Three out of 4. That's great. That was probably cheaper. And I'll spend some time fixing my clothes. Oh, look at this! 3 out of 5 appearance. 3 out of 4 armor. We're doing great. Could hardly do better. Wow! Calmly says I'm poor again, just like I'm used to. Oof, that hurt my heart. Oh, sorry. It is sadly very relatable. Alright. Okay. I think I'm gonna call it there today. That's amazing. We're really well set up at the moment, and I think that maybe next stream we're gonna spend some time working on finding the hunters, which is really the next big thing. Placing the rods, because people are going to trust us more because we can get cleaner now. We have perfume and soap. That's 2 cleaning things. And we can fix all our clothes. And trying to clear the rock slide. I think next stream we could really finish up everything I want to finish. I'm very excited. Maybe I should see if Orentius will see me as well. Kyriva says, oh, we have soap? Nice. Yeah, but it's never enough. That's why we got the perfume now. Alright, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm just gonna get this saved. I think that all went really well. And yeah, I hope that you have a lovely rest of the week. I'll be back on Friday to play Outer Wilds, which I am super excited about. So yeah, thank you so much for the company, everyone. And hopefully I'll see some of you soon. Goodbye.